Are the Democrats just really this desperate and stupid? Look, now I'm seeing Morning Joe do something that I never expected him to do. Give praise to Bernie Sanders. So all these people for the past 8 years, crapping on Bernie and letting Bernie smack him around. Now they're saying he's the face of the resistance. He's the face. He's the guy we got to rely on. You.
Our next guest says Democrats are failing to deliver a key ingredient of effective protest. Joining us now, the author of that piece, editor of The New Republic, Michael Tomasky, also with us, politics reporter for Semaphore, Dave Weigel.
Hey, it's a guy with that weird porn stash.
Whose new piece is entitled In with the Old, the Anti-Trump Resistance Comes of Age. Good to have you both with us this morning.
So, Michael, you're touching on something we also heard the guys on Pod Save America talk about all the time, that they believe the Democrats are too dour. You look at Trump and take politics out of it. People are like, they want to go to the party. They want to go to the wrestling match. They want to go to Madison Square Garden. They want to, again, the content is absolutely horrific. But for people who aren't ideological, and as we know, politics is not a science. It is an art. FDR knew that. Obama knew that. JFK knew that. Reagan knew that. Your piece gets to that it's more than just policy papers that pull people to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it is. And look, I don't think it's going to save the Republic or completely revive the Democratic Party if Democrats flash a little bit more humor. But I don't think it can hurt. The idea for this column, Joe, occurred to me last Tuesday night when I was watching Trump's speech to the joint session of Congress, and I saw the Democrats hold up those cards. And I thought, oh, gosh, it's fine, but they could be more creative than this. They could really, what about a card, mock him. Use some mockery. I mean, that guy's ego is so fragile and so brittle.
No, none of this hurts him, even if you mock him. Here's the thing about Donald Trump. Here's the thing about him. He's been made fun of so many times, he doesn't embarrass easily. I mean, yeah, you might hit his ego and he'll start going back and forth with you. But if you watch him throughout television, yeah. I mean, don't forget. Has everyone forgotten that him and Rudy Giuliani did like a skit together where Giuliani was dressed as a woman? Has everyone forgotten that? Have you forgotten that? That's a thing. That's a thing, yeah. And Donald Trump was making the moves on Giuliani. I mean, unless I've taken the crazy pills, like again, that man doesn't embarrass easily. But you want to know who does embarrass easily? It's Bernie. As right now, a lot of people have been arguing maybe Bernie Sanders could have won. Well, yes, Bernie Sanders could have won. In theory, he could have if he wasn't a nutless wonder.
The days of hiding their candidate in a basement or knocking back a beer with liberal suck-ups like Stephen Colbert might be over for Democrats as they
Jeez, lady, come on, take it easy.
They eyeball a more aggressive strategy to win voters. Tim Walz, the woke guy Kamala tapped to only faceplant in the election, is claiming Democrats didn't take enough risks and that his party, quote, shouldn't have been playing things so safe. AOC is taking that message to heart by planning to make appearances in Republican-held congressional districts in Pennsylvania and New York.
Listen, if your representative is not doing a town hall, give me a ring.
Jose Vega would like to have a town hall with you. Let's get that settled. Jamal Bowman. Jose Vega's calling you up. Will you do that debate?
I mean, I don't know if an R+25 district would have me, but I'm always willing to be proven wrong.
Okay, but how is this helping? The so-called moderate Democrat senator from Michigan, Alyssa Slotkin, went on The View earlier to claim that Trump voters are having a temper tantrum.
We're about to turn 250 years old, right? We're still pretty young for a country. These are our like our angry teenage years. And what do you do when you have a teenager who's threatening themselves and others? You just try to get them through this period alive so that their brain can fully form.
She's talking about America, you know, not having developed its prefrontal lobe sufficiently enough to be able to elect a good president in her mind. Where's this woman coming from?
I don't know where the lobe is. I don't know where she's coming from, but it was pretty clear why we voted for Trump. Anybody that looked at the last 4 years knows Joe Biden was not equipped to be president. Now, AOC is interesting because she has to get attention. She can't go on MSNBC and CNN to get attention because no one's watching. So she has to try to break into where the audience is, which is here or anywhere on the right. But I don't really have a lot of high expectations because I saw her not do so well with NPR. That seemed challenging, although she does have potential. I like how she tries to root out corruption. I like how she doesn't want stock trading in Congress, but she has no street cred with the working class.
No, she doesn't. And neither does Bernie. They lost it all when they decided to bend over backwards for the Democrats. And they lost it all when they started shaming voters for being critical of Biden and Kamala. You see, the problem is with Bernie Sanders and a lot of these progressives or who they say they are progressives, they don't have a leg to stand on. They are failures in their own world. They have failed themselves. They have failed the people. And in turn, all we can do is laugh at them. All we can do is poke fun at them and ridicule them and call them out for their utter hypocrisy. Democrats, if this is all that you have, and this is all what you're willing to fight for, and just do these platitudes, I mean, show us your actions. What are you willing to do? Will you show up on independent media, the adversarial media, as Jamal Bowman has called us? Are you going to fight us, or will you want to listen to us? But the thing is, I don't think you want to listen to us because then you have to admit that you were wrong, and that's a bridge too far.
If you fool me once, it's because I didn't think a guard was needed. If you fool me twice, it's because I didn't learn the lesson, so it bears repeating. If you try the same play 3 times running, it's because you know what's coming, and you didn't come to lead, you came to purposefully be misleading. Democracy is dry. It's been a century bleeding. The husk is gaping open to the sky, out in the field where all the sheep just keep on circling and worrying and bleeding. They're waiting for the shepherd that they've tried to hide their faith in, but he's so appealing. They'd gladly give their fleece. It's such a freeing feeling that even when he leads them to the ledge and starts to urge them on, they're positively beaming. They were told that they were on their way to save democracy, so even as they plummet, they just gloat. They don't consider screaming. And halfway up the cliff, the shepherd's cozy little mittens wrap around the staff of shattered human hopes on which he's leaning. He shows the gentle grin that used to stir your inner spark, and he says, "Not me, us," as he gestures to the oligarchs. He knows that if he runs, they're going to stop him like a stolen car. And he'll easily surrender because it bought a lot of time for laying mines in all the grassroots. Suddenly, the tiniest of movements gets you blown apart. Suddenly, you're in a play that's set on an election day and voting for the fire, unaware you're playing Joan of Arc. Suddenly, the shepherd pulls the rug and slips a hood across your clueless mug, and everything goes zero dark. I'm gonna warn you once more before it's 2024 and you fuck around and find out who your heroes are. To take a step back from the herd and you'll learn that you can spot who all the shearers are. If you really want to know the product that they're selling, I can take you where the mirrors are. If you think your voice is finally ready, I can tell you where the lyrics are. I hid them in a box I had to bury neath the cobble when they carpet bombed the promenade and raided all the street bazaars. Now all we've got's the marketplace, and you're too broke to even bother asking what the options for your treatment are. Suddenly, the raw debris of homeless human dignity will find it has 100 teeth for every badge and sweeper's arm. Suddenly, they speak in solidarity and each is armed. Suddenly, the sheep can see the shepherd for his truest form and all pitch in at once to help him buy the farm. And now it's zero dark. And all is calm and peaceful save the distant wail of sirens that approach beside the flames of dawn. Suddenly, the carrot's just a string that's on a stick, and all your movements make you sick because the prize is gone. Now, we could go and flee into the forest low and meek, or we could exercise our right to feast and go and graze on Biden's lawn. Because he's been sowing seeds that seep a toxin out to sap a bit from each of us and keep on leaching decades after Biden's gone. So regardless who they summon out of hell to come and do the job, it will not feel like Biden's gone. But in that time of hopelessness, you cannot trust the shepherd when he once again comes asking you to humor him his siren song. And it's cute that you can innocently, honestly assume that's just a symptom of a system that was wired wrong, and not the standard feature, basic function, primary objective of a mass hypnosis firebomb. You don't need to know the words to cry along. Someday it'll hit you like an officer who pistol whipped their ride along. Broke his jaw and kept his job and kept it moving right along. That voting isn't red or blue or black or white or right or wrong. Voting's like a firing squad where you can choose the firearm. It's slow extinction by and large. It's Super Tuesday supercharged. It's all your futures, roots and all, just tossed out on a garbage barge. It's everybody dropping out to push the biggest oligarch. It's everybody voting fire, registered as Joan of Arc.